Welcome back to episode 3 of Easel AI Academy. We've done a few episodes now where we've set up the basics of our dashboard configuration, but today we're going to go live. In reality, this has only really taken a few minutes of your time so far because we haven't really had to manually do anything. And don't worry, that trend will continue. So we're going to look into a help desk use case, so connecting with Zendesk. It's a very popular platform, but just so you know, in case you're not using Zendesk, this does apply to many of our other help desk integrations as well. So say, for example, we have finished where we left off. We've got our automation we want to create, but we don't have the integration connected yet. What we're going to want to do is head to the integration menu and connect it there, or just talk to it in chat and do it that way. That's always my preference, so let's do it that way. I've just created a new chat, and all I'm going to tell it to do is I want to connect directly with my Zendesk to start handling tickets with drafts to start with. Okay, so I definitely want to do the proper full connection. So I will give it the subdomain that I have. And it's given me a URL to click so that I can connect it directly with my Zendesk. Okay, so I confirmed my login details in the pop-up and it now has access to my Zendesk with a full connection. What it's done in the background really quickly before I could even finish speaking is actually indexed my past tickets and any macros or, help center articles that we may not have added here that were public to my dashboard. So it's confirmed that it has already done so. So if I head over to this tab now, I can then see all of the sources that it has actually added here. Now, if you recall, we went over a couple of key concepts earlier when it comes to sources, triggers, and actions. At the moment, we have the sources added. The next step would then be to create some automations using triggers. So I can either create some pre-built ones here or head to the automation screen to create some manually, or I can talk to eesel and ask it to create some automations. So for example, a really good starting point is just to ask eesel to create an automation to draft some replies to new tickets. Okay, so I just asked it to create an automation to draft replies to new tickets as they come in, and now it's said that it has created that and that it's live. It's given a quick description of what that means and then that you can manage it in your automations tab. So you can see in this tab, it's already added that for me. I can toggle it on and off whenever I want in case I want to stop that at any point. And if I click through to it, I can see some descriptions here about how this automation actually functions and what the instructions are. Now, I actually don't want it to just be on the first message that a customer has. I would like it to also be to follow-up messages that they have. So I'm going to tell eesel to edit that for me. It's now removed that automation and it's going to be swapping it with a new one. And there you go. Super quick, super simple, and you can see it happening in real time. If you click through, you can then see that it has updated the instructions to match as well. You can see that the automation is active, so now we can head to our Zendesk and try it out. If we head to our Zendesk, you can see that we have a couple of things here that are tickets that already exist. They don't have any customer questions coming through, so eesel's not going to be triggered on them. So I'm just going to send a test ticket through, which should come through in a second. So the ticket has come through. I can click through to the ticket itself and see that eesel has left a reply less than a minute ago with a draft for me to use. So if I like this response, I can copy, paste, and edit if I prefer, and send directly to the customer. If I would like to change how eesel actually operates during this trigger, so for example, not to draft a reply, but actually to send a direct reply, all I need to do is change the automation here. I can also filter it so that it's not leaving a draft for every single ticket. It can just be tickets about certain topics as well. So for example, only about billing concerns or account upgrades. Another fantastic way to use eesel, especially for your team members, is to actually use our Copilot browser extension. So say for example, your team doesn't like that there's a draft already on here, or they'd prefer to have a more interactive way of chatting with eesel about these drafts. If you install our browser extension, you get a toolbar on the side here where you can actually just draft a response straight away. See, it's already picked up that it has read the Zendesk ticket on the page. If you click draft a response, it will then read it and be able to generate one immediately. Basically create a response based on the information the agent has, and then you can paste it directly into Zendesk. So for example, if I paste it there, it goes into the text field. So your agent can then directly edit it or send it straight away. or you can even chat with eesel in the sidebar here to edit how the response sounds or the information that is being used to generate that response as well. A few other things to make note of is that if you would like to elevate what happens when eesel is triggered, you can start enabling some actions. So you have read and write actions in your Zendesk integration tab that you can enable to be either a human in the loop, so ask for approval to complete this action, or just enable it to run on its own. So things like adding tags, assigning to a team member, closing tickets, creating new tickets, say from a chat bubble into Zendesk. Those kinds of things can all be enabled here and then used as part of an automation. So again, the easiest way to do that is to just chat to eesel about what you want it to do, and it will be able to enable or disable actions as you go, basically. Okay, so to recap, what we've done now is we've got all of our instructions added, we've got some workflows and some knowledge, including our macros and past tickets now, and we have tested it on a test ticket with a draft reply coming through. We went over briefly how the actions work in terms of enabling them or having them require approval, and you can then add and customize which ones you want it to be able to use and when using the automations. In the next episode, we're going to explore another use case, so stick around for that, and I'll see you then.